My name's Courtney. I'm a graduate of Shepherd's Theological Seminary. When I was 15 years old, I started to begin indulging in the lust of the flesh. I began drinking a lot. I began smoking pot a lot. And that soon evolved into selling drugs. And I did this for around 8 years. And whenever I was 23, God in His sovereignty crashed into my life. I met with this preacher. I told him I didn't want to talk about the Bible or about Jesus. I'd never opened the Bible a day in my life. I just wanted to meet with someone. And when I met with that pastor, we sat down and he began to open the book of Romans and show me who Jesus was, what Jesus had done, and what He had accomplished in my place by dying on the cross, a substitutionary death, raising again and ascending into heaven. And that day I met Jesus. It wasn't any kind of charismatic experience, but that day I knew that I was saved by God's grace, and that was the first day of the rest of my life. So I began to read the Bible each and every day. I began to spend hours each and every day in Scripture trying to get to know this Jesus that I'd spent 23 years not knowing. I began attending Bible college. I just wanted to know more about Him. While I was in Bible college, I felt this strong urge to preach, so I began to preach. I began to pastor several years later while I was in Bible college. And as I was pastoring, I realized how deficient I was in the arena of counseling, biblical counseling. And so I knew that Shepherd's Theological Seminary was a school that majored in biblical counseling. So I began Shepherd's in 2007. I took a couple of counseling classes and fell in love with counseling. I began to learn how to counsel people from Scripture. And it took me 8 years. I live a couple hours away from Shepherd's. And so that major in biblical counseling, I didn't know it then, but it would become life-changing. Last year, I had seen a job opening for a social worker in Adult Protective Services in the county that I live. So I knew that that degree in biblical counseling, the Master of Arts in Counseling, qualified me for that position. So I applied and I got the job. And so what I do now each and every day is I go out in the homes where most people wouldn't even go into, wouldn't even get near. And I get to minister to disabled adults, elderly adults. And I am eternally grateful to Shepherd's for affording me that opportunity, for allowing me to get that degree, accomplish those things that I've accomplished. And the professors at Shepherd's, they became more than professors, they became mentors. Those students that I went to school with, they were more than just students. They became lifelong friends, and faculty and staff at Shepherd's, they became family. And for that, I'm eternally grateful to the school, and I thank everyone at Shepherd's for that opportunity.